All right, what's up, everybody? Super Bowl Sunday, 4:02, except it's in the PM, not the AM. All right, I did not do it this morning. And again, as the day goes on, I did not feel like doing this. It's Super Bowl, want to get ready for the big game. But said, all right, man, let's knock this out. I said I was going to be out here. I wanted to do this because I really wanted to talk about. I don't think people realize how many chickens are eaten during the Super Bowl. This is the second longest or biggest day of food or animals being consumed in for the year. The first being Thanksgiving, the second being the Super Bowl. So 1.4 billion chicken wings on Super Bowl Sunday. Now let's just think about this. So let's just say that that's 1.4 billion chickens. I mean, I know it's called chicken wings. You know, each chicken has 2 chicken wings. But let's just think about 1.4 billion chickens. Let's just say that they're slaughtered for the day. That's 16,203 every single second from the start of the day. In 24 hours, there's 86,400 seconds in a day. So that's 16,203 chickens every single second. That is absolutely gigantic. That is enormous. That is a lot of chickens every single second. As every second goes by, 16,000, 32,000, and so on. That is a lot of chickens. All right, I don't think people realize 90 billion land animals are killed every single year. And the reason why we're doing this, we're raising awareness because every single person consumes over 300 pounds of meat every single year. So one person, you watching this, on average, you consume 300 pounds of animal flesh, of meat every single year. So we're raising awareness. We're doing 300 repetitions of the Vegan 300 every single day, or mostly every single day. We missed one day so far. So we're trying to get to 100,000 total repetitions by the end of the year. So we got to get to 333 days. All right. So we're on day 38 after today. We're going to be done with 11,400 repetitions after today. All right. So Super Bowl Sunday, Seattle versus New England. Let me know what you're having for the Super Bowl. Let me know what you're eating for the Super Bowl. Is it going to be a plant-based Super Bowl for you? So for the past 9 years, this will be our 9th year without any animals being consumed or their products on Super Bowl. Everybody has chili cook-offs, chicken wings. I mean, all sorts of animals are consumed, but 1.4 billion chicken wings on Super Bowl Sunday. That is a lot. Actually, let's just divide that in half because every chicken has, say, 2 chicken wings. So let's divide that. That's 8,100 chickens every single second. That's a lot. And again, I think the most painful part of this is that most people think that, you know, all chickens are the same. All chickens are the same, but every single one of those chickens are individuals and they have their own experience and their own personality and their own wants, likes, needs. And so it's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty telling of how many chickens and how many chickens are actually killed for food, or that will eat. Americans will eat 1.4 billion chicken wings today. All right, enough of that. All right, it's very abysmal. All right, but we've been doing it over 9 years, proudly displaying what you should do. Quit eating animals. All right, we're in the garage gym. It is 28 degrees. And we're going to be getting after this workout. I will say I got some slight elbow pain. Some slight elbow pain right here. Right here on my left side. So I'm looking at like some compression sleeve. Looking at a compression sleeve. To see if, not too bad. But I think it's, we've done a lot of reps so far. A lot of reps. Ooh, these gloves are toasty. Got the heat on these gloves. All right, but we're going to stick to it. 25 pounds. 25-pound dumbbells. We got 300 reps to do. We're doing 10 rounds of 10. 10 rounds of 10. If you got any comments, post them or comment, and I'll respond to it. I had a couple yesterday. Dude asked me if, what kind of benefits or what improvements have I seen from a health perspective, and talking about why you should because of sports. There's an Olympic athletes in the Winter Olympics even. I think it was a speed skater. Vegan. A lot of vegan athletes. A lot of professional vegan athletes out there. All right. So if they can do it, you can do it. And if I can do it, you definitely can do it. Okay? If our family can do it, you can do it. You can definitely do it. All right, but again, Super Bowl Sunday. All right. A lot of animal deaths. A lot of animals are going to be consumed today. And likely, are you one of them? Are you one of them? How many chicken wings are you going to consume today? Wings of a chicken, the breasts of a chicken, the thighs of a chicken. Think about that. The thighs, the breasts, the wings. I mean, if I said eat the thighs of a human, the breasts of a human. No. No. You don't want that. All right, but hey, we're going to get after this. All right. Today's Sunday, February 8th. Again, Super Bowl Sunday. 4:10 p.m. East Coast, Michigan time. And another day in the books, about to be in the books. Day 38. Toughest part was just getting out here. Once you're out here, now is the easy part. Getting that first rep out of the way, that first round. And we'll keep it going. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do this. 10 seconds. Here we go. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, All right, first round. About to be out of the way. All right, Super Bowl Sunday workout. It's the same workout I've been doing for the other 37 days. It's the Vegan 300, I call it. We do 300 repetitions, followed by 10 cows on the row in between each round, raising awareness for the animals and let people know that they likely eat 300 pounds of meat in a year. Which is, you know, how many animals do you think that is? 300 pounds. How many different animals do you eat? You know, a lot of things that people don't normally think about. I'm trying to get you to think about, because these are animals, man. They're sentient beings. They have an experience, and they're out there. All right, first round in. Let's keep it going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 1.4 billion chicken wings are eaten. So I broke that down in seconds, but I forgot that every chicken has 2 wings. So divide that 16,000 by 2, 8,000 chickens killed every second. And this is just today. That's how fast they were eating their wings. Every single second that goes by, 8,000 chicken wings are consumed. That's crazy. That's how fast these, think about it. We're eating the wings of another animal. Like the wings of another animal, or the thighs of another animal, like the thighs or the breasts. It's crazy. All right, here we go. Round 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So who you rooting for the Super Bowl? Seattle or New England? And I just thought about this, but I was always Seattle. There's work with this guy Corey, good dude. He his family's from Seattle, so I was gonna be all Seattle anyway. But then I thought about, they're named after a Seahawk, a hawk from the sea. And then versus the Patriots, I consider the Patriots like hunters, So at least in my mind. So going for the Seahawks. Got to root for the birds. Got to root for the birds, especially since call it one of the same sort of species, chickens. They're birds. We're going to eat 1.4 billion of their wings today. That's 8,000, 16,000 wings a second. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 'Ooh. All right, finishing up our 4th round here. We're not worried about speed. We're just happy we got out here, especially breaking the routine. I swear, getting out here in the morning is, even though it seems harder, I think it's easier. You got less excuses to get through. We had a lot of soccer this weekend, or futsal indoors. Brought my son to a game, and Super Bowl today. Cleaned the hot tub, drained it. Now I'm filling it up, but I just did not feel like getting out here, and I was like, oh, my elbow, and maybe give it a rest day. But no, I told myself that I was going to get out here and I was going to do it. So I stay true to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we're about to be halfway through. I don't think people realize how much a billion is. 1.4 billion chicken wings. Call it 600, 700 million. Halfway. 700 million chickens are, call it, killed for their wings just today. Just today, just one day. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 6 rounds through. We got 4 more to go. Yeah, right here
right in there. We're gonna see if we get a compression sleeve. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, all right, so our 7th round. All right, 7 rounds complete. We got 3 more to go. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, finishing up round 8 right now. Got 2 more rounds to go. Let me know if you're gonna have any chicken wings today. All right. 8 rounds through. We got 2 more rounds to go. It's really downhill now. 2 more rounds of 10. We're taking our time today because we don't have to wake up in the morning and do it right again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one for this round. 10. All right. This is 9th. Finishing up 9th round. We just got 1 more round to go. All right. Last round. Here we go. Finish strong. Just got 10 more to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 100. All right. We're just going to finish 10 cows on the row. Call it a day. Finishing up last round here. Nice and easy. 100, 26:55. Another day in the books. Man, I'm glad I came out here. I'm glad I didn't give it a rest day. Told you I've been getting up in the morning doing it, but Saturday, Sunday, I like to sleep in a little bit. And, you know, I think so many excuses or reasons why not to work out creep in. You know, like I started thinking about my elbow, started thinking about Super Bowl. I got this to do, that to do. But look, you know, under 30 minutes is all I need. So I'm glad I stayed true to my word. Got out here. I said I was going to get out here. We got another day in, 38 days in. We're 11,400 repetitions, 11.4% of the way there. We still got a long way to go. Long way to go. So it's just going to take one day at a time. I travel Friday to Vegas. So again, throwing my routine off. We're gonna have to get it in down at the hotel I'm staying at. So we're gonna do that. Hey, good morning. I mean, good afternoon. It's Michigan 4:40. See, I'm used to saying good morning. Sick hoodie and garage gym, my man. Appreciate you, buddy. Who's that? Stan. Stand beside Jordan, my man. Thank you. It's actually a shirt, t-shirt, and I throw it over the hoodie. But I want to do hoodies. If you want a shirt, man, email me, support@quiteatinganimals.com. Give me your address. I'll send one to you. Let me know your size. All right, stand beside Jordan. Appreciate you, man. If you want a shirt, I'll send it your way. All right. So thank you for that. I got a lot of shirts. White shirt, black shirts, large, medium, smalls, women's. So let me know, man. I'll send it your way. Got another day in. 38 in. So again, Super Bowl Sunday. Look how many chicken wings are going to be eaten today. 1.4 billion today. So think about this. That's 16,203 chicken wings every second from the start of the day at like 12 o'clock midnight to 12 o'clock, call it midnight again. 24 hours. Look how many chicken wings every single second. And so you divide that by 2. That's how many animals had to be killed for us, not me, but Americans to eat their chicken wings. Because you think about it, each chicken has 2 wings. So think about that. That is a lot of chicken wings. Let me know if you're going to eat chicken wings. I got a good substitute, man. Try cauliflower wings. Look up cauliflower wings. And they're so delicious. They're way better for you. And most importantly, they're better for the animals. You're not actually eating the wings of chickens. But think about this. So if you want the Seahawks to win, the Seahawks, I'm not sure if that's I don't think that's a real thing, a real bird. But think about hawks. Oh, snap, dude. Look. Seahawks are real. Seahawk is real. It's a bird commonly referring to the osprey. Oh, man. Seahawks are real. So we're definitely rooting for the Seahawks today. And again, the Seahawks don't want you to eat any chicken wings. Neither do I. Neither do the chickens. But they're all birds. Think about it. I got a cool video of there was a hawk. Where was it? Oh no, it's got music to it, so I'm gonna get kicked out if I play it. It had Jay-Z in the background. But let me see. Where was it? Man, I go through a lot of pictures here. It was only a couple days ago too.
Man, well, no, I ain't gonna find it. Anyway, Hawk was sitting up on the driving by. Hawk was sitting up on the telephone line and just eyeing. And they're super smart. And then as I drove by, they he knew I was there. He knew I was watching and then bounced. Like they're super smart. So, and they can just see, and they're truly predators, you know, hawks. So definitely rooting for the Seahawks today. The Seahawks uh, and myself don't want you to eat any chicken wings. All right, no chicken wings. No chicken wings today. We don't want you to eat any chicken wings. All right, but look how many are eaten. That's every second. 16,203 every single second. Like today. And most people aren't eating like every second, you know? So just think about like, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. I don't think people realize how many animals are killed every single year. If you go to let's do this. If you go to kill, so this is true. 2026 US animal kill clock. You click it. Look at the number. Look at the number just go up. You know what I mean? Look at the number just as we sit here. Look at that number just go up. Look at that. And then it tells you how many of each animal. Look at chickens. Crazy, right? Crazy. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. 8 billion chickens already. Look at 8,127,632,113 chickens so far this year, and it's February 8th. Believe that? And each one of those animals are individuals. They're individual animals. Crazy. All right, man. Any other comments here? Stand beside Jordan. Thank you again. If you give me your address, support@quittinganimals.com. I'll send you a shirt, man. I'll send you a shirt. You like my shirt? I wish it was a hoodie. I want to do hoodies, but I got a lot of these shirts. And then I just wear these. This is from my old work. I got these, I'm going to call them cheap hoodies. And I just throw it on over because they all get sweaty and I wash them a lot. But I'm going to do some sweatshirts. I'm going to do some hoodies. I like hoodies a lot. And then actually though, I keep saying I'm going to do it this year, but for Thanksgiving, I'm putting out a shirt and it's going to be pretty legit. Okay. And I'm going to try to get put the message out there to quit eating turkeys for Thanksgiving. So we're going to try something. As it gets closer to Thanksgiving, you know, so this Super Bowl is the second most, call it, you know, eat the most animals out of any day this year or in a year. So, and Super Bowl is second. So Thanksgiving's first and Super Bowl is second. And so we eat a lot of animals, obviously a lot of chicken wings, 1.4 billion chicken wings. But that makes sense because so far there's 8 billion chickens already killed. Look, and I mean, as we sat here, look at the number just go up. Just look at that. Just go up. That's this year in the US. In the US alone. Right? And you don't need to eat any animals. I mean, you and I both know that you don't like what is happening to the animals. And you can say that you get all your animals from farms or local or organic or whatever, pasture raised. But from the animal's perspective, it doesn't matter. The animal still has an experience. The animal's still sentient, you know? Oh yeah, the website. So I used to have the website quiteatinganimals.com. I don't know why it's black. Why is it black? I don't know why it's black. Usually it's white. Um, yeah, I used to sell the shirts, but I decided not to sell the shirts anymore. I'm just going to give them away. So let me know your email or email me at support@quiteatinganimals.com and then give me your address and then I'll send it your way. So you don't need to buy it. I'll just send it to you. All right. So if a lot of people start asking, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, I didn't want to, I mean, at first I wanted to sell them, but now if people are going to wear them, I'm just going to give them to you. All right. But yeah, the website should go. I thought the website goes to the YouTube channel. At least that's what I thought. That's what I had it. So yeah, I don't know. I got to fix that. But thanks for letting me know, man. But yeah, support@quiteatinganimals.com. Here, let me put it in here. Actually, I think it's in the description. I think my link is in the, or my email is in the description. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna add it here. Let me see. Oh, maybe that's why. Is the text color? Maybe that's why the text color is black. Maybe that's why. I'm gonna go white. There it is. Let me try that again. Oh yeah, there we go. See, look, I changed it. Found out how to do it. So see how it was black? All right, this is my email right here. Support@quiteatinganimals.com. Send me an email and then give me your address and I'll send it your way, man. Let me know what size you want. All right. Let me know what size you want. Sick hoodie and garage gym, man. I appreciate it. That's why I'm sending it to you, man. If people like stand beside Jordan, if he if you like my shirt, I'll send you one, you know? I'll send you one. I got no problem. I'll pay for the shipping. All right. But thank you, man. I appreciate that. You might be Jordan. I think you're Jordan. You must be Jordan. Thanks, Jordan. What else you guys got, man? What else? Any other comments? No problem. I'll definitely rep it out and around. But I don't want you to make a new one for me to. No, I have some. XLs? Yeah, man. I'll send it to you. It'll be new. It'll be new. Black or white. Black or white. But yeah, man, if you're gonna order it, how long you been vegan, man? Would like to know. Not many of these shirts are out there, man. I'm not gonna lie. But here's the deal. I run with these. I got a bunch of these, but I run with them, and then I like people look at it, and I'm carrying a sandbag. So people are like, "What is that? What is that?" And then they see the quit eating animals, and then like everyone that comes across it, especially like if they lay eyes on it, they have to process it. And however you take the message, right? You have to deal with that yourself when you come across the message. And that's what I like about it, is getting people to think. Just like if they pop on this channel and then they're like, "Oh, what is this? What quitting animals? What is this guy doing? What is he talking about?" And then like you gotta process it. You gotta process it. And then, I mean, you gotta ask questions. And I hope 8 years. Oh, look at you, man. Jordan, 8 years. Best decision I ever made. I appreciate you sharing that. Look at that. Get it louder for the people in the back. 8 years, dude. Yeah, man. Right around the same time as me. Just over 9 for myself and my family. So good for you, man. Love it. Yeah, I'll definitely send you a shirt, man. Hit up my email and give me your address. Again, I'll send you XL, black or white. Let me know. I think I got both. I've been wanting to wear vegan related clothing that can make people think and spark conversation. Yeah. There you go. I love it. I don't know, man. I mean, it certainly will. You got to be prepared for the conversations, you know, and but some people aren't going to have any conversations with you, man. They're just going to be like, you know, and then oh, I don't have it on Amazon. I got a yeah, man, appreciate it. All right, I look forward to it, man, and I'll send that out this week. All right. But man, yeah, keep it up, man. And I would, you know, I love that you have conversations. And I think the more conversations we have and the ability to not pass judgment, but understand that we were all there. I ask a lot of questions, why do you think that do you think the animals are sentient? Do you think they have experiences? Did you realize that all plants have protein? Do you think that you can be strong, fit, and healthy without eating animals? And I also like to use the word animals because I think reconnecting back with the animals is what people need to do. And I think that that's going to get you and everyone closer to quit eating them, right? When you talk about meat and, pork and steak and all of these other terms, I think we're disconnecting, right? And I think it's on purpose. We're disconnecting with what we're actually eating and what happens. Like these are animals that we're eating. These are the wings of animals. These are the thighs of animals. These are the breasts of animals. These are the wings of animals. And so I think it's important to connect animals with the food, and I want you to think about the process it took to get there. That's what I really think that people should do, and I encourage them to do. Another thing that I share with them is to watch The Greatest Speech Ever by Gary Yavorsky. And I mean, he says it better than anyone. And if you have 45 minutes, an hour, whatever, and you can watch that, I think you'll come out of there really questioning and really hitting home. But what I also share is that the people that do this have to be open to it. And I think timing is everything. And timing, is different for everybody. But some people, it's just not the right time. They come across the message and they don't want to hear it. They have their guard up. They want nothing to do with it. And I'll share this. My dad wants nothing to do with the conversations about it. When he comes here, he'll eat, he does the plant-based. I mean, we're all obviously vegan here. And so he gets into the plant-based mindset, right? My wife, we cook it and then he eats it, loves it. And he's never had a bad meal here. He's loved everything. But when he's home or when he's out, he'll continue to order, meat and other animals. And, that's okay. What he also says is that that's the way he's brought up. He's too far gone, or too far into it. There's no reason to change now. And it kind of disappoints me a little bit. I think it's never too late to start. And no matter that's no matter anything, no matter if it's going vegan, if it's working out, if it's, starting a business, if it's, going to school, it's never too late. But you have to be open to it. You have to put your guard down and you got to be humble and you have to be willing to be, understand that you could be wrong. Like you could have had it all backwards growing up. And then it also I think makes a lot of people feel uncomfortable because it's like your parents brought you up and your parents were the ones that fed you. And if they didn't know and they just fed you, meat and that's what everybody was doing. I mean, you can't blame anybody. You can't, and this isn't really a blame game. I mean, society does this. They hide the slaughterhouses from us. Meat is all around us. Like, look at all the commercials with burgers that you'll see today. Like, I mean, Carl's Jr., McDonald's, Burger King, KFC. I mean, all these fast food places, all of them have to deal with killing animals by the billions, by the billions. I mean, and this is just, you go to McDonald's, there's really not many vegan or plant-based options. Like every meal consists of an animal. Burger King, look, I mean, the name of it is has to do with the slaughter of animals. I mean, it's cows. It's killing cows. How many cows are killed? Look, 36 million so far. Can you see that? 36 million cattle in the US alone. And it's February 8th, you know? So you got to be open to it. You got to let your guard down. And you got to be humble about it. You got to be willing to be wrong. And then as soon as I saw it, as soon as you see the footage, as soon as you hear Gary Yavorsky's speech, as soon as you like, man, like he starts saying things that hit home, and you're just like you have no good justification. You can say like taste, like, oh, it tastes good. Like, what else am I going to eat? But then if you realize that you can eat a bunch of plants, you can eat a variety of plants and still be strong, fit, and healthy. Like, what excuse do you have? What is the justification that you have for continuing to eat animals? And we've heard every single one. So over 9 years, I've heard every single reason on why people continue to eat animals. Like, we're omnivores. Yes, omnivores does not mean that you need to eat animals. Now, if you tell me that you were a lion or a tiger and you were a true carnivore, yeah. If humans were true carnivores, yeah. And by the way, if I found out tomorrow that like, oh man, we had it all backwards, I'd be the first on here and be like, you know what? Nope, we got to eat meat. But it hasn't happened yet. So I'm in my true life experiment over 9 years, no animals whatsoever. I'm still out here. I'm still strong. I'm still fit. I'm still healthy. I'm about to do 100,000 reps this year. That's the goal. And do you think that like if I could do 100,000 reps and you could see me out here every single day, or mostly every day, like you have to realize it's possible. You have to realize that you can absolutely do these things, be strong, fit, and healthy without consuming any animals whatsoever. Once you realize that, and once you believe it, you got to believe it. If you're like, nah, it's still not making sense, I still don't trust it, I still don't, that's on you. I think that you got to be willing to do the research yourself. Don't listen to me. Don't just listen to me. You got to do your own research. But if I'm out here doing it, and if other people are doing it, you got vegan in the Winter Olympics today. You got vegan athletes, vegan Olympic athletes that are doing it, that are strong, fit, and healthy. They're doing it. They're professional athletes. You got people in the NFL. You got people in the MLB. You got people Olympic weightlifting. You got people in soccer. You got in every sport, you got plant-based athletes. If you haven't seen the Game Changers, watch the Game Changers documentary. And I'll share with you that we started a documentary called, we didn't start it, but we watched it, What the Health, and it got us to go 30 days plant-based, and we loved it. Gary Yavorsky's speech, there we go. Jordan, yes, my man. Earthlings, yep, that's another good one. I don't think I've seen. I don't know if Earthlings, I get confused with Earthlings and Dominion. I think Earthlings is by the uh oh man, he's like a renowned documentarist, if that's even a word. Or is it Earthling Ed? Maybe it's Earthling Ed. Earthling Ed. He's great to follow, but Gary Yavorsky's speech, man, the greatest speech ever by Gary Yavorsky. If you sit down and you're open and you're ready to be taught, listen to that speech, man. Listen to that speech and be prepared. Be prepared to answer some tough questions. Be prepared. And not everybody's ready, And I think a lot of people don't want to listen to it because they don't think that they're ready. They don't think like they think that really if you watch that speech or if you do the research yourself, like you'll make the switch. You'll make the switch. You'll feel too bad. You'll feel too guilty. And you don't have a good justification. If you're watching right now and you still eat meat, drop your justification and I'll answer it. Drop your justification on why you continue to eat animals. Why you think it's okay with your morals, why you think it's okay to continue to eat animals. And you can say everyone has a choice. Yep, everyone has a choice. And I agree with the choice. Dominion is a spiritual successor to Earthlings with HD footage. Okay. Appreciate that. Yeah, Dominion, I mean, it's a tough one to watch. I watched a little bit of it and then, it's already knew. I didn't need it to watch the whole thing. But Gary Yavorsky's speech, man, I'm telling you, that guy. I mean, the way he puts it, the way he talks to you, the way he lectures, and it's really incredible. So, I'm a huge fan, and if it's already out there, like I'm not as good as a speaker as he is, and so just listen to him. I mean, he's already got it out there, you know, and be open to it. Again, like I said, you got to be open to it. All right, you got to be open to it. I like that, Jordan, man. Appreciate your comments, my man. I'm definitely sending you a shirt, man. I love it. I love it. I'm sending you a shirt. XL. XL, man. I'm gonna send you XL shirt. So, look, as we sit, I'm not sure how many. Look at that. It just keeps going up. As we sit here and talk, look how many animals have been killed for food in the U.S. Super Bowl on an hour and a half. Super Bowl's on. Ooh, is that you? Nah, PETA. If you send me an email, I didn't get it yet, but that one just came through. PETA. There's been a new sign in. That's me. Oh, no, that's not you. All right. All right, but I'm looking forward to your email. All right. Somebody's home. I just heard somebody outside. They're coming in. I think it's my kiddos. All right, guys. No other new comments. Jordan, man, again, appreciate your comments. Looking forward to your email. What else, man? Any questions you guys got? Any questions? Okay. Okay, man, no worries. I was just making sure that my email's still working and that's the right one. No worries, man. I'll get it out to you this week, though. All right. Hey, man, appreciate the comment. 8 years, dude. I love it, man. I think hope that shirt helps spark conversations. It certainly, I'm gonna say it certainly does for me. I also think that I like to work out with it. Obviously here, but I run in my neighborhood with it, and a lot of people, again, as they're driving by, like they're looking, and then when they see the 3 words "quit eating animals," it's like, I know that they have to process it, right? Like just like you reading shirts, just like you read any shirts that people have, like if they're like, you have to process it, like, and they either, it's what they do to it, it's what comes from it from them. But I love it. I love how it gets people thinking. I love challenging people. And I think the better that we are at asking questions and really understanding and then sharing information, I think that's what's going to drive change. I think especially with the people that are willing to come and talk to us, or the people that know us. I think it's, you got some people out there that are very aggressive with it. They call people murderers, and they don't want anything to do with people that, consume or contribute. They call it animal abuse. And it's really aggressive. Now, if that's their activism, if that's, if that's what's their calling, and they feel that that's, what they want, and that's what they want to do. I mean, I'm not going to stop them. I think it's important to have those people in our movement, in the animal rights movement. I think it's important. I think it's effective for some people. But I think most people, and again, I'm thinking from like a sales perspective, right? You don't want to be so aggressive on your messaging. You don't want to be so aggressive, but you want to listen. And for us and for me, like I've eaten animals for over 30 years. Like I've eaten animals for over 30 years. And I know exactly where they're coming from. Now, it didn't take me long. Once I heard the message, and I didn't have any guards up or anything. I wasn't like, no, they're wrong. I wasn't like, I didn't push back so hard. I didn't have this cognitive dissonance. And if you're familiar with cognitive dissonance, it's that uncomfortable feeling when, oh my gosh, all the things that I was taught growing up like was wrong. Like, why are we eating animals? Why are we eating meat if we don't need to? So like I didn't push back hard. The one thing that I think, and my wife will talk about this too, is eggs. And for me, when I saw, again, I'll share this again. Some of you have already heard this, but I've shared when I saw them looking at the sex of in the egg industry, right? There was this big conveyor belt. They had all these baby chicks, and they were looking at the sex. And if it was a female, they kept it on this side of the conveyor. If it was a male, they threw it on the other conveyor, and I literally threw it. They tossed it, and it went onto this conveyor, and then it went down to it's called a masquerator. It's a big blender, and they killed these baby male chicks alive. That's because that's from a revenue standpoint or from a cost perspective, it's much cheaper just to grind them up instead of humanely getting rid of them, or instead of like feeding them and storing them and then shipping them off to wherever. Like, it's more cost effective to grind up those baby male chicks alive. And I was like, unbelievable. I mean, I had no idea. And that's where the egg industry, it contributes to that. Even though you talk about like it's not actually an animal, you're not eating an animal. Well, first, you're eating a hen's period. It's a period. It's their menstrual cycle. And so you could talk about it's not being fertile and it's not going to grow into a chicken. But regardless, like, why are we eating the menstrual cycle or output of a hen, the reproductive, uh, uh, egg of a hen? It doesn't make sense, and it's not needed. It's not necessary. And so once I thought about that, and then it comes out of the, what is it called? Oh man, uva or maybe something. Um, oh man, it's the hole, whatever the hole is. It's like the poop hole and the egg hole and the pee hole. It's like, it's everything. It comes out of there. Jordan, my man, got your email. Black XL, my man. PA, you Pittsburgh fan? You Roethlisberger fan? That's like the only person I know on Pittsburgh. No, he's not even there anymore. Actually, it was Cloaca. Yeah, that's it. The Cloaca. There it is. Jordan, my man. Thank you. Yeah, the Cloaca. That's nasty, dude. Learn about chickens. Learn about what their eggs. Learn about that. The cloaca. It's incredible. It's nasty though, so we don't want to eat those. But that's what I was trying to get at is that you don't need to eat that. It's not necessary. You could call it a good amount of protein, but it's got a high in cholesterol, high in saturated fat. It's not good for us, I think, from a health perspective. Like, what are we eating? They don't make it for us. And so it was easy for me to give up, easy for me to be like, nope. Because if you consume the eggs, you're normalizing eating the eggs and you're normalizing the whole industry. And so the industry, you'll continue to fund it and people see you eating eggs and they won't question it. But speaking up for why you don't eat eggs, I think that's a bigger impact. And so I'll continue to do that. But I think my wife had a hard time giving up because we had eggs every single weekend. We had eggs and bacon. Bacon for me, as soon as I saw the pigs get gassed, we still gas pigs. That's the most effective way to kill pigs. And they get gas. I mean, it's terrible, man. It's terrible what happens in the animal agriculture industry for us to get food, and it's not a health food. I mean, these are the body parts and body, production of these animals, and it's not for us to consume. It's not good for the animals, and so I'll keep speaking up for them. But Jordan, man, thanks for the info. 8 years, Jordan has been doing this for 8 years. I've been doing this for 9 years. I got some people on a channel. Stephanie, she's been 38 years without eating any animals. It can be done. It absolutely can be done. So I encourage you. He also shared Gary Yavorsky's speech. Where is it? Here it is. If you need to know how to spell Gary Yavorsky, right here, Gary Yavorsky's speech. And it made him make the switch, or easier to make the switch. So the greatest speech ever. Out of the I thought Roethlisberger was still in the Steelers, but until a few weeks ago. All right, man. Well, that's all right. We're a Lions fan. 38 years is incredible. I know. Yes. Stephanie, Cat Lady Stephanie, 38 years. I think she's got grandbabies that are vegan. I think she raised a whole family vegan. And so, a lot of people are doing it. And you hear stories like that, and I think what I'd like for it to do, what I encourage it to do is you have to do the research yourself, right? You have to do the research. Don't trust our word. Don't trust Jordan. Don't trust me. Don't trust Stephanie. Don't trust anybody else, but go do the research yourself. Go watch Gary Yavorsky's speech, the greatest speech ever, just in YouTube. And, just go find out for yourself, man, that it absolutely can be possible. And then that's when that journey starts. That's when your journey begins. And you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. But I think that the more research you do, I think the more the more research that you'll continue to do, you'll go down these holes, and you'll go down these. You'll learn about this. You'll learn about that. You'll ask questions. It'll pop up another question, and then you continue to just learn, and then realize, like, man, there's really no good justification for you to continue to eat animals. And then you'll feel a lot better. And I think mentally, that cognitive dissonance, that uncomfortableness will go away, because you'll come across this and it'll be like, yeah, man, I'm actually, I'm transitioning now. I'm learning about it. And then you'll share that with other people around you, and they'll laugh, or they'll think it's weird until they figure it out, until they start questioning it. So, be the first in your group, be the first in your area. I know we were 9 years ago. I mean, I didn't grow up knowing a vegan. And then, believe it or not, there was a vegan athlete when we ran a CrossFit. We owned our CrossFit for 5 years. There was a vegan athlete, a female athlete, who was very, very skillful, very, I think she was in high school. And then her dad also went vegan with her. And so supported her. And it was, for her, I think it was about the animals. And I never questioned it, never really thought it was, anything. And then, like I said, the timing is everything. And then we watched the documentary, What the Health. We started our transition. We went 30 days plant-based. And then we just, we kept learning, and we kept learning. So what's up, man?
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude? How you doing?
Good.
What's up? Say what's up to the people.
Good chat.
That's Lane. Lane's taking out the trash, man. And there's no animals in that trash, believe it or not. There's no animals. There's no eggs. Just plants, man. Bunch of plants. Bunch of vegan chocolate, dairy-free chocolate. Bunch of tofu wrappers. So, you have fun?
Yeah.
That's good. Who's here? Anybody?
I don't know.
All right. Super Bowl's coming on. Super Bowl. Look at Lane, mate. Lane. That's he's my middle guy. So middle guy, we started when we were real young, man. We started when, well, he is 14 now. So 9 years ago. 9 from 14. I don't know how old that makes him. Jordan's got a message here. I always tell people making the switch, it's a lot easier than it seems. If you eat chicken nuggets regularly, start buying the vegan version. What up, Lane? I'll tell him you said it. I'll tell him you said it. Yeah, man, you got, chicken nuggets, and that's another thing. He was a huge fan. He was a chicken nugget guy. A real big chicken nugget guy. Like chicken nuggets were his favorite. And then yeah, now we got plant-based nuggets. And then now you can make tofu nuggets. I mean, you got plant-based nuggets, man. And they're not from a chicken. They're not chicken wings. They're made of cauliflower wings. So you got options, man. And yeah, I think to Jordan's point, it's a lot easier than it seems. It is, I'm gonna say, overwhelming at first. It might feel that way, but now there's so many options out there. You can go to the store. There's like plant-based like areas in the stores now. Like they're full of like, all right, everything over here is all plant-based, is all vegan. So it makes it easier. You can certainly just Google things to buy, just purchase. So it's a lot easier than it seems. It's just I think a lot of it too is what people think that other people will think about you. What is my family going to think? What are my friends going to think? And I think for us, I mean, as being officers, like we're like leaders, like we were, I'm going to say bred to be leaders. In the Naval Academy, we lead by example. And so for me, it was like, all right, if this is the right thing to do, we're gonna do the right thing, and then we're gonna share about it, and then we're gonna lead by example, and that's exactly what we've done. So I think when we first did it, we weren't, it was difficult. We didn't speak up right away. We were still learning. I will say that I wasn't like, I wasn't all about, I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't know how to talk about it, but I kept watching. I watched Earthling Ed. I kept watching Gary Yavorsky. I wanted to overcome all the objections that I've heard that people talked about. A big one that took me I'm going to say a while to understand it is crop deaths. People say, oh, you kill more animals by eating plants than just eating the animals, which kind of blew my mind that people would think about this way. All the rodents, the mice, when they're like they're preparing the field, and with the big tractors, and the gophers and the moles and all the land animals, that the birds in the trees, or anything that like clears the way for when people farm, and people are planting vegetables or plants. But then I realized, like, man, like, do you think that these farmers are growing just these plants for vegans alone? And then it was like, well, no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, vegans aren't there. There aren't a lot of vegans out in the world, right? Like less than 10% of the population, for sure. And so what they're like, if you really think this is a thing, like think about how like all these animals, that what we have to feed them is plants. And then so like we're feeding way more animals than we're feeding humans, right? You got like 10 billion people on Earth, and then 90 billion land animals every single year. And so like what do you think that those animals eat? Like they're eating plants. So to grow, like we're feeding way more plants to the animals for food. So if you really believe that crop death was a thing, going vegan and eating nothing but plants is certainly the much better choice, because way more animals are killed if you think about crop deaths to feed the animals that you're eating. So that one hit home, that one kind of made a lot of sense for me. But it took me a while to understand crop deaths. So, but like there's really no good justification. I've came across all of them. I've came across a lot of people, said that the Bible, people talk about, oh God, Jesus ate fish and all, like heard everything. And, hunters gatherers, we wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for hunters gatherers or hunters, killing animals, and our brains got to be where they're at because of eating animals. Meat has all the essential amino acids that we need, and all of them are false. I can uncover every single one of them. And so once I got good at that, once I got good at talking about that and answering people's ridiculousness, I mean, some are, pretty ridiculous, as you've seen in some of the comments. Not here, surprisingly, pretty quiet today. But some people, me, dropping like steak emojis and a bunch of other ones. So, but I just got good at answering them and asking a lot of questions, and then people can't answer the questions. That's why I like to have a discussion. I like to go on live with people, with hunters. I've done it last year. I'm looking forward to it this year, but nobody has decided to come on yet. I was trying to get a couple people, but we will. We got time. It's long. It's a long year. We're only 38 days in. We got 333 total to go. We got less than 300 days to go. And so one day at a time. So that's it. That's it. I appreciate you guys watching. Jordan, thanks so much, man. I got your email. I'm going to get that shirt out to you this week. So, man, thanks for the comments. Thanks for chipping in, with your comments and your info there. It certainly helps when a lot more people talk about it. So I hope the shirt helps. I hope the shirt, send some messages and get some conversations going. And if you can get one person to do their research or thinking differently, man, I think that's a win. I think that's a win. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to share this. And I think another thing too is people don't think that you can, like, you need protein. Like, they don't think plants have protein, but all plants have protein. And, once I found that out, and once I found out that there was like an Olympic weightlifter athlete that broke Olympic records in the snatch and the clean and jerk. Like, I was doing CrossFit at the time. It was like, oh my gosh, like what? I have no excuse, man. There's zero excuse. There's zero reason that my taste and pleasure, because that's really what it is, my taste and pleasure of bacon or steak or, whatever animal that you're eating is more important than that animal's life. Like, what? That is super selfish of me. That is like speciesism to the T. And if you're not familiar with speciesism, that means that the human species is the most dominant apex predator species, and all other species we can do whatever we want to. That's what speciesism is. Similar to racism, they think that one race is better than the other, so we treat the other races differently. Sexism, same thing. They think one sex is better, then so they treat the other sex as lower, as beneath them. But yet that should not be the case, and we have to start teaching our kids, our children. That's why we started early. We said, why are we killing animals? Like, I got a good video of Jace. He's our real youngest, and he was the one that got on a video early on, sitting on my wife's lap talking about like deer. And if you kill the mommy dad, or if you kill the daddy, right, the deer with the buck, and a lot of hunters in Michigan, so that hits home for a lot of people. But if you kill the daddy deer, then the mommy deer will be sad, right? And then you got all the kids and all the babies, and the baby's not going to have any daddy. So, and then like talked about like chopping off their head and hanging on their wall. Like, what are we doing? Another thing I find it very interesting is people that kill deer, they take pictures of the deer's head, and they hold the deer like up with like blood hanging out, and they're proud of it. And then everybody, all of their friends, all of their family are like, congratulations, so good, so proud of you. Wow, what a score. What? We just killed an animal that was not harming you, that was living its life in nature, you know? Looking forward to repping it. Thank you. It's awesome seeing a family of vegans. It gives me hope for the future. Oh man, appreciate that, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. No, I mean, it's the way, man. We're gonna look back and be like, why did we do such things to so terrible things to the animals? So, yeah, man, I'm certainly proud of what we've done and when we've learned and the way that we've taught our children and our kids, they can do what they want. I mean, they have the choice. They go over a friend's house, but we feel that taught them enough to where they know that why kill animals? Why continue to contribute to that if you don't have to? So yeah, man, I'm certainly happy we did and looking forward to seeing more families start vegan from the very beginning, and I not to regret it, but as soon as we learned, we made the change. But if we made the change before we had kids, we certainly would raise them all vegan from the very from day one, which again at the time would have been controversial. I think a lot of people would have been like, but now so much evidence points to, you know, it's absolutely possible, and you can raise, um, a baby from day one without consuming any animals or their products. All right, guys, almost out here. Jordan, again, appreciate you. I'll send that shirt out to you. Thanks for that. Thanks for all your comments. And looking forward to the Super Bowl tonight. Eating no chicken wings, no animals, and we'll see you tomorrow, day 39. All right, guys, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.